Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. In today's video, I want to share with you a specific procedure, specific treatment, I suppose you could call it, that I've been getting for the last 2 years that has truly changed the thickness of my hair, the look of my hair, and it's probably one of the best things that I feel like I have done for my hair, which is why I wanted to talk to you about it today. This is I guess you could call it a costly treatment. I think I'll have the exact price on screen, and I wanted to bring it to you today. I wanted to share this with you today because 2 years ago I would have never heard about this type of treatment, and 2 years in I'm finally seeing results. I wanted to actually talk to you about it last year, but it felt a little bit disingenuous because as much as I trusted the process, I didn't really see any results last year. I just finished my second 6-week course, and I wanted to talk to you about it because I'm finally seeing results. So the specific treatment that I get done is actually scalp needling, and a lot of you would probably be familiar with facial needling, micro needling of the face. I've been getting micro needling done since I was, I think, 23 or 24. Fortunately, I haven't got it done this year because my skin's been problematic, to say the least, but facial needling, micro needling the face is something that I'm very familiar with, and this particular treatment is just pretty much the same thing except in the scalp region. So it is basically used to promote and kind of reawaken dormant hair follicles on the scalp. And I'm going to share with you some images of before and afters of really extreme cases of where the results are just completely amazing, like very, very noticeable. You may not notice my results as much, but trust me when I tell you I can notice them. And I also have my own before and afters on screen as well. I've mainly just been getting micro needling to this kind of front portion of my head. And the reason that I decided to get the front portion done is because that is kind of where my hair, I've first of all have quite thin hair. I don't have a lot of hair. Just genetically, this is how my hair is. And I have noticed that I've almost been seeing more and more thinning around the front of my hair. So I wanted to go in and try something that would almost kind of awaken some of those dormant hair follicles and just kind of stimulate hair growth in this front region. I'm not gonna lie, it's a very, very tedious process, and it's something that maybe not everyone is going to be willing to do. I'm gonna talk to you about the before care, the after care, the pros, the cons, the process itself, all of that information included in today's video to help you kind of decide if this is for you, because I know some people with really extreme cases of hair loss may just want to go over to Turkey and get a hair transplant. I know of someone who actually went over to Turkey and got a hair transplant, and honestly, unless they told me, I wouldn't have known. I wouldn't have known. My hair, I don't think, is that much of an extreme case, but if you are someone of a certain age who is experiencing hair loss or just hair thinning, or maybe you just would like to kind of thicken up your hair, this is something that I recommend. I don't recommend for really extreme cases, but if you have just started to notice within the last few years hair thinning, hair loss, receding hairline, it might be something to consider, and obviously talk to a licensed professional about and their recommendations. But my beauty therapist, I love her, she's amazing, she's incredible. And we went ahead and started this particular treatment in October 2022. So the video that you see here is my hair before I started this. The whole cycle runs for 6 weeks. You do one treatment every 6 weeks.
Can you see all that new growth? Can you see all through there is all new growth?
It's very exciting.
It is exciting, isn't it? Look at that.
Yay.
Because that was all when I first started doing.
It was bare.
Will that get as thick as here? That I can't tell you, because it depends how many active hair follicles you've got there. And do you know what I mean? But what I can tell you is this will grow to cover. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So, yeah. So it's different to face needling, where you put a serum on at the same time. This is different. Okay.
Yes. Funny being on your period, very sensitive.
Yeah, definitely. So we go over an area to the point that we can see the skin reaction. So you won't be able to see this at this point, Caitlin, but I can see the skin's getting pink. And there's the occasional little tiny pinprick of blood. That's the point that we know that we've gone over the area enough.
This is the particular shampoo that I use during my needling course, and I mean, I'm finished now and I've still got some left, so I'll just finish it off and then I'll just go back to my Kerastase. I don't actually know if this is kind of essential, but this is the one that my beauty therapist recommends, and it's called Trichology Intensive Hair Loss Shampoo. It's by the brand Mezzo Aesthetic, and this is the product that I use because I'm on a bit of a hair growth journey, and to be honest, I don't really do much to my hair these days. I just leave it naturally. I let it air dry naturally, but if you want to blow dry it, you can. But it's just very important that before you go in for your first treatment, all you do is, you know, shampoo, condition, and if you want blow dry, but no products, no spraying of anything, nothing like that. So that is all you really need to do. An optional extra that I would recommend is, I didn't do this last year, but I started doing it this year. I take Panadol, I take painkillers before I go in. I'm not a big painkiller person, but I just decided for this 6 weeks, this is what I do, okay? I pop 2 Panadol half an hour before my treatment. It just takes the edge off. If you have a really high pain tolerance, this may be something that you want to skip, but I don't have a very high pain tolerance, and it just takes the edge off. It just makes it a little bit less uncomfortable for me, especially those days leading up to my period, during my period. Oh my gosh, it's so much more painful. Like, I have tears rolling down my eyes. It's bearable, but it's just like, ugh, it's just uncomfortable, and like, ugh. Having a Panadol definitely takes the edge off though. So that's just something that I do before I go in. I think the treatments usually are probably about 45 minutes maybe, depends how much you chat. My beauty therapist and I chat quite a bit. I suppose it depends what kind of area you're looking to get done. Like, if you're getting your whole scalp done, that might take a little bit longer. She disinfects it and then needles, and then does the kind of massaging of the scalp, massaging the product in. All that usually takes about 30 to 45 minutes. Like, if you happen to be able to find this treatment for like a really reduced price, keep in mind I'm talking in Australian dollars. Obviously, you know, if you shop around and if you manage to find it for like a really reduced rate, I would be a little bit cautious. I would be a little bit careful. The more I'm learning about the beauty industry and the more I'm learning about the beauty space, I just feel like a lot goes on, and a lot of people do some really dodgy stuff or just don't use super high quality products. Whatever they are massaging into your scalp after they've opened up those channels and needled, you know, your scalp, that could be where that price jumps up. So the product that my beauty therapist use is by the brand Calisum. I love Calisum. I love their products. I love their innovation. I love their science. They are, to me, really good quality, high quality products. There's actually a new product that she's thinking about using. It does similar, pretty much the same thing as what the other one, the Calisum one, does, except this one also contains keratin. So I'm just going to read this little handout for you, but it says, improves microcirculation, oxygenates and nourishes the hair follicle. Vitamin B2 is important for cell development. Low levels have shown it can trigger hair loss. Vitamin B7 helps with the production of keratin. CLCC media stimulates and promotes hair follicle growth. She's trying this one, so I might use this next time, but I've just been using, like, she's just been using a Calisum. Love the results of my Calisum skincare, so I love Calisum as a brand. I want you to know what you're getting yourself into, because I don't think this is for everyone. And if it is for you, you really need to kind of almost time your life around it. I guess it kind of depends what your hair looks like, okay? If you're someone who has slicked back hair all the time, or you don't have a fringe, no one may notice how different your hair looks. But for me, with my fringe, I think people notice. I mean, I think I look crazy. You can kind of see the redness. I think a little bit's probably dried blood as well, but a lot of it's probably just a solution. Aftercare, in a nutshell, no touching your hair for 24 hours. I mean, this is just what my beauty therapist tells me. Someone else might tell you something different. I'm just letting you know what my beauty therapist tells me. No touching your hair for 24 hours, okay? That's no brushing, no washing, no getting it wet. I changed my pillowcase as well. For the next 2 days, wear a baseball cap if I'm leaving the house for extended periods of time, especially on that first day when I can't brush my hair, I can't touch it. I look crazy. It's red, it's kind of greasy, and I can't touch it. My fringe is all over the place. Not a vibe. So I tend to put a baseball cap on, but I also clean that baseball cap before I use it. Does that make sense? Like, I'll run it on a cycle in the washing machine, make sure it's dry. I also wash my baseball cap for day 2. Usually only wear it for half an hour if I'm ducking out, maybe to the shops, or taking Flynn for a walk, or if I go to the gym. But I just don't try to wear it for like hours and hours and hours on end. I just don't like the feeling. And you know, you can put your hair in kind of a low bun, but obviously don't kind of put it up in a high bun. Don't put any stress or any tension on the hair. I kind of just leave it down, or I tie it in a really loose bun. like low loose bump. You get like the occasional pin pricky feeling, but other than that, it feels pretty fine. As soon as that 24 hours hits, you can touch your hair, you can brush your hair. It feels amazing. It's such a satisfying feeling. I'm a little bit embarrassed that I'm coming to you like this. My skin's not been doing too well lately. The hormonal acne is kicking my butt. I wanted to show you the kind of process. So it's been exactly 24 hours since my hair needling, and now I can finally brush my hair. And at this point, I'm so excited to brush my hair. And truthfully, I don't usually shower this late, but oh my God, that feels so good. I'm going to have a shower now because I just didn't see the point of showering this morning, partly because I was just working from home and I didn't really have anywhere to be. And it's just easy, I feel like, to properly wash my face when my hair is kind of out of my face. I have indulged in sweaty workouts after the 24-hour mark, but truthfully, I do try to let it go until about the 48-hour mark before I fully indulge in really sweaty exercises or saunas or things like that. It's also recommended by my beauty therapist that you do avoid chlorine and being in like chlorinated pools. Maybe your at-home pool is fine, but you know, like a public pool, I don't know, I'm just a bit funny about that. 48 hours, so day 2, is where you can finally wash your hair. And again, I use this with just some conditioner on the ends, and that is basically your life for 6 weeks. This is another product that my beauty therapist got me onto. It's Factor Skincare for Hair. It's Factor Scalp Stimulating Solution. So every night, obviously not the first night after needling, after the 48 hours after needling, I use this, and I just use it every other night. With my scalp massager, I drop this in the front of my hair and I just massage it. It looks wet after you use it, but it doesn't leave your hair greasy. Your hair looks, well, my hair looks completely normal the next day. This is just another product that I really like. I don't know if it's essential, I don't know if it's necessary, but it's an add-on and I really like it. I like the feeling, I like the process. You almost have to tailor your life around this treatment if this is something that you're interested in getting done, because I mean, as someone, I don't color my hair, but if you color your hair, it is recommended that you don't try to do it within the 6 weeks. I don't even think you really should or can do it within the 6 weeks. It's also something that's, again, not recommended. I don't even think you're supposed to. Again, I'm not sure. When I say not recommended, I just don't do it, okay? I don't do it. I don't think you should. But hairsprays, anything like that, anything that comes out of an aerosol can is not recommended on the scalp. And interestingly, since starting scalp needling last year, I very rarely use hairspray, dry shampoo, anything aerosoly, anything like that on my scalp anymore. I just don't use it anymore. And I think this has just almost been a bit of a product of just having this treatment done. It's not something that's recommended. Hairspray, dry shampoos, things like that, you're leaving like a thin film almost of product on your scalp. And that can trap and block and kind of just stress the hair follicle out a little bit, I personally think. And I think sometimes that can almost contribute to a receding hairline or like a real loss of hair here. I mean, I used to be someone in my early 20s who used to go a week without washing my hair. And the reason I used to be able to do that was because I was just spraying so much dry shampoo in it. I now am someone who would rather have greasy hair or use real shampoo, because to leave that product sitting on my scalp, I don't personally think it's really good for your hair follicles. I don't think it's good to do for your hair follicles long term. And I do think maybe it could contribute to a bit of hair loss. And I hate to say that. I know everyone loves dry shampoo. I know everyone loves the convenience of dry shampoo. Editing Caitlin here. I'm so sorry. Please try to ignore the 99-cent lipstick on my snaggletooth. Yes, that is a Mean Girl reference. Just from talking about the aftercare, I think we can recognize that the aftercare is a con. Okay, I think we can all recognize it to be a bit of a con. If you are out working in an office 9 to 5, if you find yourself having to be in public spaces where you feel like you have to look presentable, or you wear, you know, business attire, you can't really be wearing a baseball cap. It's not the most ideal thing. So I do think if this is something that you want to do, I would recommend scheduling it around maybe the days that say you can work from home, or maybe try to get it done on a Friday, so then by Sunday you're okay. It's just something that you may have to kind of juggle your schedule around. This may be something that you have to kind of juggle a bit and find the time that fits you and your lifestyle. The pros, like I said, the results for me is what sold it. You may not be able to see it. I don't know how well the camera's gonna really show you the results, but I hate to say this, but you're just gonna have to trust me. I personally see the results the best when I'm sitting on my beauty therapist table. She has a ring light, she has a mirror that she shows me. I can see just so much really fine baby hair here. And guys, like I said, okay, this is a process. If you want to go to Turkey, if you want to get a hair transplant, if you want to wear extensions, I mean, that could possibly damage your hair and lead to further hair loss if not done correctly. That's a whole other story. This is something that is, you're kind of in it for the long haul, okay? A lot of these baby hairs that are coming through, I'm probably not going to see them fully grow out for years and years to come. And when they grow out fully, they may not be as thick as the rest of this hair. Another pro I've also noticed that kind of happened unintentionally is because I do this, you know, for 6 weeks straight, and because I'm not really doing much to my hair in that 6 weeks, you know, I try not to use hairspray, I try not to use dry shampoo. I even avoid styling it as much because I'm just not doing as much with my hair. I'm just kind of let it do its thing. I've noticed unintentionally, it's actually helped, I think, my hair grow longer because it's almost helped retrain my brain to not feel the need to put hairspray on all the time, to not feel the need to put dry shampoo on all the time. And it's almost retrained my brain to almost be more comfortable with not styling my hair every day. There was a point where I used to not like my physical appearance without my hair styled, you know. I love my hair curled, don't get me wrong, but I feel the need to not do it as much as I used to. I've become more comfortable with my natural hair and my natural waves and just how it looks kind of naturally. And that's a pro, I personally think. It's contributed to longer hair. I think it's something I'm trying to do. I'm trying to grow my hair longer, and avoiding heat styling and just avoiding that unnecessary stress on my hair, I think has helped with my hair growth. I think that's pretty much everything that I needed to cover for today's video, but like I said, I'm not a beauty therapist, I'm not an expert, but if you do have any other questions, please leave them in the comments down below and I'll try my best to answer them, or I can go ahead and ask my beauty therapist and I can come back to you with the answer from her. I think like 20 plus years in the field, like she's an expert, she's really, really knowledgeable, and I trust her with my life. She's just a beautiful, beautiful human being. So thank you so much for joining me in today's video. I'm gonna have another one linked for you right here. If you haven't had enough of me just yet, feel free to join me over there. Thank you so much for joining me in today's video, and I will see you in my next one.